Okay, so in this stream, I'm in high school. It looks like high school, and but it's like elementary. It's either junior high or high school, and it makes no sense because I'm like an adult, but I'm not an adult. I'm one of the older kids, and I'm at. Okay, so there's a set of lockers, and I'm there with my friends. It's a group of us, maybe like 4 or 5 of us, but these guys who are with me, we're all guys. There's no girls in my group, and we look like the characters from Stranger Things, like the actors who are the kids in Stranger Things. But I know that we're like older now, we're like seniors or something in this high school. And we walk into a gymnasium. So there's a soccer game. So yeah, it's school, and there's like a soccer game going on. It's like an important soccer game or something, but at the same time, I'm not even a student. It's like we're just visiting this school. It doesn't really make sense. Like I'm not too sure. I can't really tell if I actually go to this school or not. But me and my friends, we go into the gymnasium and we're watching this soccer game. That's like it's gym class, but it's also like a tournament. And so I know it's an important game, and it's a women's soccer match. But they're still young too. Like I guess teenagers, like a high school soccer match. And so we're watching the soccer game, and we're kind of teasing though. We're making fun of them as well, and like we're joking around. We're just fooling around like high school kids would. And the soccer field, it's indoor, but it's also outdoor, so it's like it doesn't make sense. It kind of shifts between the two. But we're watching the game, and we're actually making fun of them for like we're making fun of them for not playing that good, or just teasing them like when they make mistakes or something. And so at one point, like it doesn't even make sense because there's like obstacles in the soccer field, like on the during the game. There's like a giant poster that they have to like run around. There's a what looks like a cutout, like a big cardboard cutout of like an actor or a player that's also on the field. And so one of the girls uses that to like shield the ball, and they're like passing it to each other, but they're using this big cardboard cutout display like as a wall, like as for safety. And like we're like kind of shocked. Like, what the hell is that? Like, it's so dumb. Like, why is there this big cardboard cutout? That's cheating. And the whole thing just seems so silly and like unrealistic. But it's also suddenly like an important game. Like this is like the high school championship or something. And so these girls have the ball. They pass it back and forth, and it's near the end of the game at this point. I realize it's like maybe like the last 5 minutes or something, or either that, or it's kind of like the old golden rule in soccer. It's like overtime or something. Like next goal wins. Suddenly, I realized that. So it's like the next goal is gonna win the game, and this girl is the ball goes out. So the girl goes to get the ball, and she's gonna like throw it in, like it's a throw in, but then the referee is there, and she accidentally like smashes the referee in the face. But it's just an accident, so it's no big deal. But it looks very comical. Like one of the referees is like extremely overweight too. She's short and overweight, and she just plops down, like falls really suddenly, like a bag of potatoes. And it just like plops down, and I realize like everyone's laughing now. It's almost like a comedy thing now, and we're laughing and we're just kind of making fun. And then suddenly it turns into a more serious match. So now it's not like silly anymore. And that referee that fell down isn't even a referee; it's one of the players, and she grabs the ball and she puts it down and she kicks it in like a free kick now. So she passes it to her to a teammate, and the ball goes. So we're standing on one side, like on the edge. And actually, the weird thing is, it's like it keeps shifting between being like a soccer game and a basketball, like a basketball court, but they're still playing soccer. The whole time they're playing soccer, but it's like a basketball court at this point, but it's small. So we're standing, or at least me and my friends are standing on one end of the basketball court, even though they're playing soccer. And so they pass the ball to the other side, like so the ball's far away from us. But then one of the players from that team, the opposite team, gets the ball and they're rushing towards. Actually, no, I guess it makes no sense because it must be this high school's team. So like it's like I'm watching. Yeah, no, no. It's like, so I'm there. Okay, basically, whatever school this is, their team has the ball, and one of the girls, like it's the very last few seconds of the game, and the girl kicks the ball, and the goalie jumps and saves it, but like hits the ball with her hands in a weird way. It looks very silly and comical, but it's like the ball bounces over her, hits the wall, and it's not out though. Like the ball's still in play, and it does one of those weird like spin things. So the ball hits the goalie, spins, hits the ground, and it starts like actually doesn't hit the ground. It does look like it hits the wall, and it goes back towards the net. So now the net's empty because the goalie's dived out and the ball is rolling and spinning into. And so I noticed, I suddenly realized at that point, like the ball is gonna go in, like this is gonna count as a goal. And so me being on the sidelines watching the game, I run in and I just kick the ball the last second with my foot to avoid it going in. So the goal doesn't count, like the ball doesn't go in, the goal doesn't count, and then like the referee blows the whistle, like the game's over. So, which makes no sense. Like they just accepted this, like me kicking the ball, like didn't even matter. Nobody, like it just counted. Like even though I wasn't in the game, I'm just like an audience member. I'm a person watching the game. So I kicked the ball out. Now the game's over, so we're laughing, and my friends are kind of laughing and teasing and stuff. Like it was no big deal, and we're like joking around. And we walk. So suddenly, like just then, we walk out of the gym back to our lockers, and our lockers are right outside the gym door. There's like 4 or 5 lockers to the entrance to the gymnasium. It's like a big double door. And so we're standing there and talking to each other, and we're just, I guess, kind of, our lockers are open. We're packing our stuff up. And at this point now, I'm like, I'm not an adult. I'm a teenager again, or whatever. Like, it kind of shifts between being older and younger. So people start coming out of the gymnasium, like all the people who were there watching this game. And now they're all students though, and they're all like young though. They're like almost like kids or young teenagers, and they're pissed off at me. And so one by one, as these groups come out, they're like harassing me, yelling things at me, insulting me, swearing at me, like, "Why did you do that?" Like, and like obviously they have a point though, so they're like just all pissed. And I still don't seem to care that I did that. It just seemed like a funny thing to do, or like it was just a joke. But I get a little nervous too. So suddenly I remember I didn't have, so I was just wearing a plain black shirt and shorts. And so I'm at the locker, and suddenly I quickly grab stuff to change. Even my friends help me out. Like one of my friends hands me a baseball cap. I put the baseball cap on quickly, and then I put on like a light jacket on, so that people basically don't recognize me. Because like I realized at that point that people just saw me like from a distance, and they shouldn't really be able to tell who I am with my change of clothes. So I change my clothes and stuff, and so people keep coming out though. Like some of them care, some of them don't, some of them say stuff to me. So then it's like it's pretty much cleared out now. And so this kid comes out with there's like 2 or 3 guys, and they're like the tougher kids in the school. And like I'm still bigger though. Like it's weird because I'm like the senior or whatever, and this kid looks younger than me. But again, it's like I'm shifting between being an adult and just being a kid in school. So he's kind of bullying me now. He's pissed off, and he's standing there, and he starts teasing one of my friends. And like the whole thing starts because of the soccer thing, but it just escalates more. So one of my friends at this point, one of my friends looks like Dustin from Stranger Things, the actor, but the younger version of him. And he kind of flicks his curly hair, and he like pushes him on the shoulder a bit. And I get pissed off, so I step in. And so at this point, it's like we are the Stranger Things characters. It's, well, I'm not one of the characters, but Dustin is there, and the other guy is the only one I really remember is actually Dustin. Really, so he's kind of in front of me to my left, and this other bully, like this kid, again, like just pushes him, like flicks his hair or something, and I get pissed off. I kind of move in, and I push that kid out of the way. I'm like, stop touching him! Why are you touching my friend? Man, you don't need to be here. Like, go. Like, classes are done. School's over. Go home now. And he says some stuff, like again, him and his friends, they make some remarks and stuff, being smart asses, and then he's about to start a fight, and I kind of point to the corner. We're in the hallway still of this school, so I point to a corner. I'm like, yeah, that's real smart. Do that on camera. And then they kind of they look surprised, and they look up in the corner, like trying to find a camera in the school. But there was no camera. Like I just said that to throw them off. Like I knew there was no camera, but I'm just like pretending there's a camera. So like these kids, and it's like a bigger group now. Like I know these kids are like rough or dangerous, or like they can do something. So they kind of like scatter a bit more, like they're walking off, they're yelling stuff from a distance to and insulting us. And so I put my clothes or whatever I had back in this locker, like we're ready to go basically. So now my friends are gone, and yeah, like the dream kind of shifts. Like it's a little bit later, and like I'm alone, and suddenly I'm an adult again. So now I'm not a kid, and I I lock my locker up, and then the locker left to me, to the left side of my locker. I realize it's one of my friend's lockers, and it's open though. He forgot to lock it, so I'm trying to lock it, but it's not working properly. And like one of the teachers sees me do this and I think she wants to come and give me shit for it or something. She's gonna ask me something. And I'm like fidgeting with this lock, and the lock looks so weird at this point. The lock doesn't look like a metal lock. It looks like skin and bones. It's so creepy and weird looking. It's like a bone with another bone that like it's literally like a lock, like a high school lock made out of bones and skin and something. And I try to click it back into each other. It's like I'm shoving this bone into another piece of bone to lock the locker. It was so weird. And I managed to kind of click it in, and I realized it's kind of half broken. At this point, I realized that the reason my friend hadn't locked his locker is because it was broken. And if I lock the lock, he's not going to be able to open it anymore. This weird, like, human bone lock or something. It was so creepy. There was no blood. It wasn't like bloody, but it was just like sinewy and like bony with muscle a little bit. It made no sense. I mean, that's the best I can describe it. It was like, again, that lock made out of human skin and bone. So I leave now. I leave the lock. I start walking down the hall. And I'm now walking to leave this building, but now it doesn't look like a high school anymore. It looks like an older, fancy building. And I'm walking down this hallway, and I realize there's that. Like now I'm an adult again, and there's adults around me, and I realize I'm in like a. It's slowly shifting, like it's a play. Like it's not a play. It's like a one of those um like what do you call it? Those old, when they act out like the olden days, whatever. It's like a reenactment of some scene or something. But I realize these men are dressed. There's a couple people just ran out. Like I see two men, for example. There's a group of people, but there's two guys sitting. No, people are just kind of coming and going. Like I'm walking down this big hallway, but it kind of shifts to like an older school, like not an older school, but not older school, but I mean like old school, like the old way of the buildings used to look. It's like an ancient kind of building or whatever, like just 200 years, like 100 years ago or something, like the Victorian era. Like it's everything's made out of. Okay, actually, it looks like a hallway from Harry Potter. That's the best way I can describe it. I guess it's like everything's made out of like stone and like the floors are tiles, like are fancy looking stuff, and it's all like older school look. And these two men are sitting on a bench in the middle of this big hallway, but they're talking in like that old English style. But I realize they're acting like it's just an act. It's not. I'm not in the olden days. It's just a reenactment, and they're talking like fancy English using like those like the British, like the old British English words. And I'm walking down this. I'm going towards my car. I think, right? I'm gonna leave the building. I think I'm going to a parking lot. And so as I'm walking, and I'm an adult now, I look back, and that same kid who was bullying me earlier is like following me. He wants to like follow me outside to find out like what car I drive, or to follow me home and see where I live, because he wants to like attack me or beat me up or something. And I guess like, it makes no sense, because like I'm an adult now, and he's like a younger kid, like even younger than before. So he's not like a teenager. He's like I don't even know, looks like maybe a 6 year old, maybe a little older, like 8 or 9 year old. And I can't remember if I shift between being a kid and an adult, but when I leave, I know I'm an adult when I leave. So I leave and I go out, and I'm in a parking lot type thing, but it looks like a waste, like a waste yard, a junkyard, but for cars, like those old like cars that get abandoned, or like a junkyard with tons of like garbage and stuff, but mostly cars, and they're like crushed and stacked on top of each other and stuff like that. And next thing I know, there's another bad guy there. Like, okay, this whole like the dream at this point shifts into like a scene from the TV show The Walking Dead, like some sort of zombie-ish movie or TV show. And so I'm suddenly like on top of one of these cars, and the kid is next to me. Like now, like the kid's not chasing me or coming after me or whatever. He's just there, and it's like we're watching this guy. Like now suddenly, like I'm either this kid's guardian or this kid's friend. But again, I'm an adult. He's a young kid, and he's like with me. And we're watching this scene of another guy who's like a bad guy who's looking for us, and specifically the kid. and I kind of realize that I have to protect this kid now. And this guy is like one of the bad guys. Like, he's just some bad guy. He reminds me of like, actually, okay, I just realized now he turned, okay, he's Will Arnett, like the actor and comedian Will Arnett. That's the that's who it is. But it's not a movie or a TV show. It's like it's really him, and he's a bad guy, or at least the guy looks like him, and he's the bad guy. And Will Arnett is looking to kill us. He's basically after us, and we're in between these stacks of cars. Like again, that's like a junkyard. So these like smashed, crushed cars, and we're hiding on top of one. So we're sitting there. It looks like they look like seats made out of these crushed cars. It doesn't make sense, but we're sitting. I'm on the right side, and this kid is on my left, and he's like scared now. And then it's almost like we're watching a movie though, because like it feels like it's just a movie. And it's just a silly thing. So I'm like, it's not a big deal. But this kid is scared. So then he holds my hand. I'm sitting on his right. He's on my left. He holds so he takes my hand and he's like holding one of my hands and he squeezes it because he's really scared at this point. And Will Arnett is closer to us. And now it's like pure Walking Dead scene. There's like a zombie there. And this kid suddenly tells me like, oh my God, he's got a zombie now. He wants to kill us using the zombie. And Will Arnett's very close. He's like, because we're a little higher up than him, so it looks like he's on the ground and we're sitting on these cars, but we're like a little elevated. And so Will Arnett and this zombie are kind of like tussling and they're fighting each other. And Will Arnett is getting the zombie ready to like attack us. He doesn't really know where we are, though, but he knows we're close. And so at this point, it kind of shifts between Will Arnett and this zombie turning into the same person or something. It's very strange. It's hard to describe, but it's like. And again, the whole time it's like I'm watching this as a movie, but we're actually there. So now the kid's freaking out like crazy, and Will Arnett's close. And now I realize like we're actually in danger because Will Arnett has kind of become the zombie, but he's not like a dumb zombie. He's smarter and he knows where we're at. And he's kind of walking around looking for us. And he gets really close to us at this point, and he looks over, and I think he kind of sees me, or he knows where I'm about to be, because he's talking to, zombies can't really talk, but he's clearly talking. He's like, where are you guys? I know you're here. I know you're close. And because Will Arnett has kind of turned into this zombie, he looks different too. His face, like his skin has looks like it's melted off his face. It's like you can see his bone. He looks very different, like the skin has melted, and it's like nasty, oozy looking. It's just like very like a creepy zombie, literally like those zombie characters from the show The Walking Dead. And so now he's super close to me, but again, I'm a little elevated, and he comes close to me, and he wants to. No, he doesn't know that I'm there. He's still looking for us. That's what I realized. So he's looking for us, and at this point, like I'm like, I have to do something, and this kid is still next to me. He's freaking out. So Will Arnett comes super close to me at this point, and I suddenly I scream at him. I'm like, he's like, look, he says something, he makes a comment, like a smart ass comment. And I basically reply with my own smart ass comment saying, I think he says something like, where are you? And I just suddenly pop out. I'm like, here I am, motherfucker, or something. Like I say something like that, like an insulting, like really vulgar phrase. Cause I reply like aggressively, and I'm angry, and I'm like, with my right hand, I smash his head really hard. And it's like I know I can kill him or whatever, beat him. So he looks more like a zombie than he does Will Arnett now. He's not really Will Arnett. Now it's just kind of like a regular zombie. But I hit his skull so hard with my hand, like his skull kind of crashes. And just like a zombie, I know I have to hit him in the head, like in this TV show. Like you have to hit them in the head to kill them, because otherwise, that's the only way you can kill the zombie. And so I just hit him like multiple times, and his skull kind of cracks and crumbles. And at least I know I'm about to kill him, defeat him, and we're like, this is the only way to save ourselves. And so I kind of hit him, and his head smashes, he falls down, and like we're basically safe. And that's how the dream just kind of ends. At least that section of the dream ends. And then, yeah, that's all I remember from that dream. And I think I had another dream. Yeah. Okay, actually, yeah, I think I'm in a workplace. Like I'm done work, and I leave work, but oddly, again, it has to do with cars. So these are just like I'm in a parking lot, and I've left work, and I get inside my car, but I have to wait. I'm either waiting for a coworker, or I'm waiting for the shift to end, like my actual. I don't know. It's hard. This one's hard to remember. It's hazy. I get in my car, and yeah, it is okay. It is a parking lot. I get into a car. My car is like an older blue Honda type car. It's like a sedan. Looks like a Honda. Kind of reminds me of a blue Honda or a blue Toyota Camry type car. And I get in the car, and it's like there's cars all around me now. But it's also like I'm in a convertible. It makes no sense. There's no roof like the top is. It's like a Yeah, it's like a convertible, and I'm sitting in the driver's side, and I'm leaning back my head, and I'm casually in reverse. So I'm backing up the car like it's no big deal. And there's a parking lot, cars all around me, and as I'm looking up, my head's like almost over the seat, and I'm just casually in reverse, slowly backing up. And as I back up, I suddenly see these two guys because my head's up. I'm looking upwards, and I suddenly see two guys looking down at me, like from an elevated point. And then that's when I realize I've backed up so much that I've crashed into this guy's car. Like I've bumped into his car because these guys were just sitting on top of their car looking down or something. It makes no sense, but I basically hit his car, and I suddenly I'm like, oh shit! I hit the brakes, and I'm like literally looking in his face, like eye contact. I'm like, did I just hit your car? He's like, yeah, man, you backed into my car. So then like I get out, I put my car in brake, I get out, and it's three of them, and they look like we're all adults, but like young adults, and he looks a little concerned because he's not pissed or anything, and I know I hit him lightly. So then I get out, and we kind of walk towards his bumper. We're looking at his bumper. There's no damage. It's like barely, like there's nothing. He just kind of waves it off with his hand, like it's no big deal. He's like, get out of here. And I just remember his bumper had like a ton of stickers that he had put on, like whatever, just like travel stickers or like random stickers, but they look like stamps too at the same time, like old stamps. That his whole front cover and even his license plate around it and stuff was all covered with these stamps or these old stickers. But like I'm relieved because nothing really happened. He just kind of waves me off, and then I'm walking away from my car. Now my car's parked. I park it like it's against the wall. I park it there, and there's tons of cars. So like I'm illegally parked too. Like it's not a real parking spot, but I park it there, and then I get out of the car, and I remember walking towards the building again. So I guess that's not the end of work. Like I'm still, it's like I have to get back to work type of thing. It's like my shift's not over, and I see the door in the distance, and there's people like slowly walking in, like a stream of people walking back into the building. And so I kind of join them because I know I have to go back to work. And that's it. That's all I remember from my dreams.